What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 31 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we have the start of the Football League season. Of course, yesterday we talked all about transfers, we had the Community Shield game against Chelsea, and today we get into the meat and potatoes of the season. A triple header today: Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. Some difficult games here. Last season, of course, we managed to finish fourth, and so much of that, I feel like, was built off just a really solid start to the season. It is going to be difficult to come through the next 2 weeks worth of matches with a similarly solid start, but we're going to give it our best shot. And well, besides the transfers, which of course we showed yesterday, there's one more addition to talk about, everyone, because Paulo Silva, I did end up signing. Of course, there were a few different centre-backs I was looking at. In the end, I decided that Paulo Silva was the best fit for us. Fairly professional personality, really good physicals, great defensively. Not the best when it comes to his mentals, but on the whole, just a top-quality centre-back who is inconsistent, which we will hope isn't going to be too much of a factor. I know I tend to bang on a lot about the inconsistency kind of issue in teams. You don't want to have too many players that are inconsistent, but I feel like you can get away with one or two of them. And Silva's overall quality is kind of undeniable. He's the kind of player that at 22 years old, I don't feel like I'm ever going to end up selling on for a loss, if indeed I wanted to sell him on. But to be honest, he strikes me as the kind of player who should be good enough to slot into a Champions League winning team. If we can, I suppose, make the right additions and perform as I know that we can on the pitch. But anyway, besides him, nothing new really going on at the club right now. A few youngsters that I'm looking to sign. If any of them join us, we'll cover them throughout today's episode. But today is all about the matches. It's all about the 11 men on the pitch and getting off to hopefully a good start in all three of these games. In terms of the team for today's game, we've got Toby in goal. Silva makes his debut alongside Piotr. Of course, at left-back, Calafiori's out. That means that Matti is going to come into the team, of course. The versatile centre-mid we signed from Juve over the summer. One of the intentions with signing him was that we could slot him in as a left wing-back when we need to. A little bit sooner than I would like to be doing it, but at 21 years old, signed for £10 million. Going to be an interesting little test for him today. Regina, of course, holds down a spot at right back. He's now one of the highest earners at the club. Going to be interesting to see if he can continue to justify his wage, I suppose. One of the first players we signed when we took over here at Nottingham Forest, and it'd be fair to say that over the years, he's been remarkably consistent. I'm hoping for more of that here. We're still going to persist with the three in the midfield. It's Ricketts, Lind and Smith. Out on the left-hand side, we've got Van Dijk, who did not make a splash in his debut, the club record transfer. Going to be interesting to see if perhaps he can have a slightly bigger impact on the games today. Urquhart right mid and Amlo up top. And well, with all that said and done, let's get into this game, shall we? I'm excited for this triple header. I feel like this is going to be a good test for our team. We will be experimenting, I'm sure, with the tactical systems. I'm hoping that the new three-man midfield works. If it doesn't, we can go back to what we used last year. And I still do have kind of a little hope in the back of my head that maybe the 4-2-3-1 could work for us. We talked about that in the end of season episode a couple of episodes ago. But the idea that we could potentially play, a more traditional 4-2-3-1 with centre attacking mids and stuff, it's certainly an option. Anyway, looking at Arsenal, they've got Jared Bowen and also Dwight McNeil out on the left-hand side. But we are very much entering the age of regens, everyone, where there's just all the big players are regens. This is 11 years of this save game now. Of course, we're playing on a Sunday. Everyone else has played. Chelsea and Liverpool, the two teams we've got to play after this one, they've both won their first game, so it's not going to be easy. But hopefully we're going to come out on top. Of course, Arsenal, in the last couple of years of this save game, really have struggled. And, we've always finished above them since we've been in the Premier League. I will hope that that trend can continue here. As we look to build out from the back, we're playing in our grey kit. That was an ambitious ball by Lind, but we'll let him off the hook because Erk's now got it. Ricketts dinks it wide to Regina. Can he beat his man? Of course he can. Loads of space in front of him to get a cross in here. Lots of men in the box. Lind has an effort. How's it ended up at Regina? I think it's deflected off Perez. It has. I mean, we'll take it, but what a bizarre goal. I thought it was offside for a second. I thought that just the way the players behaved, it just looked like something wasn't quite right. But Regina pulls it back here. Lind elects to have a shot with a crowded penalty area. It falls back to Regina, who shoots. Maybe it was a cross. We may never know, but it hits Perez on the buttocks, ends up in the back of the net, and we're a goal up without having a shot on target. That's not a bad way to start our season, I suppose. Getting a goal ahead. Hopefully now we're going to continue to dominate this game. You can see here, 61% of possession away from home against Arsenal. That's pretty blooming good. We're relatively happy with what we're doing so far. I'm going to try and encourage the players. I will say the lack of any shots on target from either team is a bit of a disappointment. But they've got a corner here that's going to be headed back across goal just over the bar. I want to convince myself that Toby had it covered, but it was nervy. And well, we've got a throw in here. Regina goes short to Erk. Now back with Regina. Whips it in. Amlo's there. Nods it down at the back post for his first of the league season. He looked on course to get the golden boot last year, and then his league form just dipped at the wrong time, did Amlo's. But you know what? Not a bad way to open up his goal-scoring record for the season. At the back post, a really towering header down. And Regina, again, 2 goals in a row, not 2 games in a row. 2 goals in a row where he's been really involved in the build-up play. Right after I've shone kind of a torch on him and put the spotlight on him and said he needs to justify this big wage rise. So far, so good. Maybe he can do something from a throw-in now as he throws it towards Van Dijk, who, I will say early on, has been a little bit quiet out on the left-hand side. It was a big signing from AZ Alkmaar, my word. The ball straight over the top to Mackay. Toby, what a save by the keeper. Strong right hand to it in the one-on-one there. Very, very happy with that, but not happy with how easy it was for them to break through. So Van Dijk quiet again. That is, I don't know, it's a little bit of a concern, but at the same time, he's learning a new position playing out on the left-hand side of midfield. We're going to be patient with him. I mean, look, we're 2-0 up away from home against Arsenal. It doesn't matter when you are in the future. This is quite a good result. I'm going to take off Erk and bring in Seka. Erk's not had the best start. Of course, Seka this year going to feature, I think, a little more as an impact sub. But we'll see how he gets on here. You know, if he starts playing well, if he starts finding some good form, I'm definitely open to shifting our starting 11. I feel like the overall quality of our team is significantly higher than it's ever been. And kind of the gap between the quality of players in terms of the starters and the backups is so small that actually a lot of the time I am going to pick a team based off form. Players don't perform, I feel like we've got players ready-made to come in and take over. As Mackay has an effort, oh my word, what a finish by Glenn Mackay. Hits both posts and goes in. I don't know if Toby will feel a bit disappointed here to be beaten at the near post, but Mackay missed that first one-on-one opportunity. Really nice build-up play, to be fair, and on his left peg, hits one post, hits the inside of the other, and then finds its way into the back of the net. But I'm not going to panic just yet. Matty, big throw forward. Stevie Seka's there. No, he's not quite there. Matty's not got that bigger a throw in. Van Dijk dinks it towards Amlo, headed away to Tagseth. You may remember last year was playing for Man City and did score a few against us. Now featuring for Arsenal, who get the ball to McNeil. Toby, can you come to the rescue? You cannot. And it's not what you want to see. It's not what you want to see. The warning signs have been there. They have beaten us with these big lumped balls forward a couple of times. Going to make a change. I'm going to bring in... You know what? I'm going to bring in Ferguson to play shadow striker. Ferguson is a really exciting prospect. Scottish international, was on loan at Villa last year. Looks like a tremendous option as kind of a centre attacking mid or alternative striker. He was kind of one of the reasons why I decided I could get rid of Samake. Is because I think Ferguson, in terms of as an attacking striker option, covers Samake pretty nicely. But yeah, we're going to switch to the 4-2-3-1, shout some words of demand more, and try and get something here. But I will be honest, we have been second best to Arsenal throughout this game, and it's certainly a risk to try and play on the front foot, especially with them having a free kick here in the wide area. I mean, imagine if the first game of the season is us bottling a 2-goal lead to lose 3-2. It's a good debut for Silva. I mean, the warning signs are there, but Tagseth to Perez hits it, and it just hits our defence. I mean, I'm not going to deny I could have changed some stuff up at 2-0 up, and there were some warning signs there, but for that to be the way they get the third goal, it's not particularly pretty, is it? 2 own goals in this game. Arsenal come out victors. If you could see the face I was pulling, it's a face of both pain and a bit of annoyance. We've not been good enough there. From 2 goals up to 3-2 down. I mean, Silva, it's not a debut to remember. Regina's got a pulled hamstring, bless him, so he's going to be out for probably the next couple of games. which is not ideal. And while we've only got 5 days to go away and reset, we're going to be taking on Liverpool. It's a game at home at the City Ground. We put in our best performances at home, but 2 defeats in our first 2 competitive games is terrible. And these next 2 games aren't much easier, are they? Right, let's go to the game against Liverpool. Oh my word, I can't believe it. Right, next game. Okay, guys, so it is time for game number 2 here against Liverpool. And, well, that last game, we've got to try and put it to the back of our minds, but just to make things even more difficult today, a few injuries to first-team players. Ricketts is unavailable, Seka's picked up an injury, Regina, obviously we already knew he couldn't play after last game, so things a little problematic there. In terms of just a little bit of transfer news, we have made a new addition to the team, and that new addition is Svetkov, who has joined us and then gone straight on loan into MLS. He didn't get a work permit, which was a bit annoying. He was the Bulgarian youngster I was showing last episode. Thought he was one who had a little bit of potential about him, but even if he didn't really develop, I felt like there was some money to be made off him. So he's gone out on loan. And in terms of just a little bit of transfer news that might happen, it might not. Dennis Hoffman, who you may remember we signed from Fortuna Dusseldorf a few years ago for £7 million. There's been a little bit of interest in him. I've actually accepted a couple of offers over 20 million, and then he's turned down the contracts those clubs have offered. I think those clubs included one in China and then Leeds United. Leicester have now come in and bid £25 million on him. Whilst he's a good player, he's inconsistent, doesn't have much room to grow. To me, if I can get more than £20 million for him, I think I've just got to do it. I think centre-back is not an area where we're lacking in young talent. And if those deals happen, I've got some transfers I would really like to make, but it all hinges on, will Hoffman agree to go out? Because if he doesn't, I can maybe sign one of these players that I'm looking at. So let's have a quick look at these players, shall we? The first that we have is Tudor. Oh gosh, I'm just going to call you Tudor, mate. That's probably easier. He is a Romanian international. He's 19 years old. He's not close to being 20 either. His birthday's in March. Had a release clause of £7 million. He looks like a really good centre mid. Amazing mentals, really for his age. Really good determination. Certainly, his physicals are incredible. Great first touch, great technique. There's a lot to like about him, and he's also consistent, which is really, really good. And then a couple of defenders I'm looking at. The first is Ronaldo Ramirez. We're actually waiting on a work permit for this guy. His contract is a youth contract with Tigres, which means that he's not protected. We've just approached to sign him. There's been an agreement made. I think it's going to be about £500,000 up front that could rise to £2 million. Given the fact he's 18 years old, he's playing for the Mexico national team. He's consistent. He looks absolutely superb and has 18 passing as a centre-back. I think he could be a really, really good addition to the team. And then a couple of other defensive options. The first that we've got here is Miguel Benavides, who plays at Independiente in Argentina. He's a right-back, I think. I mean, he's naturally a centre-back, but he's not a centre-back. He's a full-back, everyone. If he can improve his dribbling, if he can improve his crossing, and just develop a little bit in a couple of areas, I think he could be a really, really good option. He's only 18 years old. His birthday was last month. Fairly professional personality, and not a lot to like about him. Going to cost us 7.5 million if it happens. And the other player we have is Alayo Herrera, who is joining us from Boca, potentially. This guy, another Argentine defender, this time 18 years old, professional personality. Hasn't got the craziest jumping reach, but he's not a small centre-back by any means. And I feel like he is a centre-back. He's a really good player in terms of his current ability, really well-rounded. No glaringly obvious gap in his game, to be honest, other than maybe his jumping reach. But has loads of room to grow. And for the fee that we're talking about, which would be just shy of £6 million, I think he could be a really good deal. So hopefully, Hoffman is going to leave us. And then before the Chelsea game, I'm going to be able to tell you about these 4 youngsters all joining us. And suddenly the future looks really, really bright for us because they're all top quality players. But either way, we can't worry about them right now. We can't worry about, is Hoffman going to sign a new deal or not? We've got to worry about this game against Liverpool. Now, for this game, of course, a few players out injured, which is annoying. Juanjo Hernandez, who you may remember we signed last season halfway through the year, is going to come in at right mid. And actually, for this game, I'm thinking that we're going to play the 4-2-3-1. I think we're going to change things up and play quite offensively, given the fact that we are playing, we're playing at home. So I want to take the game to them. And also, we're going to try playing Van Dijk as the shadow striker. I think he could be a really, really good shadow striker. His physicals are well suited to it. 18 passing, 19 off the ball. I mean, Van Dijk is so talented offensively. He can kind of play any kind of role that he wants to within the final third. We're going to see today how he gets on playing off AMLO. With that change in mind, I'm going to bring Erks out onto the right, I think. And then I was going to bring in Seka, but of course he's injured as well. He's got a stubbed toe, everyone. Failed a fitness test, not recommended to be selected. So you know what, actually, sorry mate, you're going to have to play out on the right. And then I think we'll bring in, do I want to bring in Dr. Medj or do I want to bring in Marcelo? That's the dilemma at hand. Who is the better left attacking mid? I'm going to go with Dr. Medj. He's not quite as quick. He's not your super athletic winger, but he's very, very good. Naturally plays that position. Can cut in on his stronger right foot as well. And yeah, this is the team that I think we're going to go with for today's game. Of course, I do need to update the bench as well because we can't have injured players on the bench, everyone. So Ricketts, off you come. We'll bring in Gary Healy, I think, for him. Actually, no, I've lied. Let's bring in Mighton. Because a loyal servant to the club, Alex Mighton, kind of just chilling around now as a homegrown club player. But we need these kind of players for Europe. And of course, we've then got Regina, who can't play today. So with that in mind, I think we'll bring in Roberts, who can offer us a bit of coverage at left back if need be. Anyway, let's get into this game. Second game of 3. It's been a rough start. A few injuries to contend with today. Definitely not our strongest 11. But a chance for a few kind of more fringe players, I suppose, to prove their first team credentials. And well, after that last game, we need to win this one. The Chelsea game away from home, I can't go into expecting to win. And if we lose this game, I will kind of just go into the Chelsea game expecting us to be 0 wins and 3 losses after 3 games of the season. And it's going to just be a fight-back campaign for us. Of course, we've also got the Champions League this year to worry about. The groups haven't been drawn for that just yet, so it's not something I can concern myself with. But you know what? Hopefully today we get a win. Hopefully we get a good start. As Silva didn't have a debut to remember last time, but his home debut today, maybe he can have a better game. His header just goes wide off the post there. Liverpool, though, their media prediction was second. Of course, we were maybe going to go to Liverpool until they gave Steven Gerrard the job. So with that in mind, it's a bit of a grudge match at this point. I want to beat them. I want to show them what they could have had. As Van Dijk finds himself on the ball down the middle, maraudering forward. Amlo in the middle to pick out. Goes all on his lonesome. Would have been an incredible solo goal, but he doesn't even find the target with his effort from a difficult angle. Another chance for us to hear, though. Hernandez, big football forward. Lind is there, flicks it on. Dr. Medj strokes it away, and we'll take that. Should I have played Dr. Medj? That was the question going into this game. He scored early on, so I'm going to say yes. Lind as well, his run here across the box to then nod it back into the middle is superb. Nice finish into the bottom corner. We take the lead against Liverpool. And we need to win this one. They've got a good team, though. They've got a good team, and much like the Arsenal game, as we've already experienced, a 1-goal lead is not good enough. A 2-goal lead might not be good enough. We want more goals here, if we can, especially whilst we're on top in the game. I feel like in the Arsenal game, they changed some stuff up, and I was slow to react to it. And to be fair, they probably deserved to beat us on the whole. We dominated the early stages. I was happy with how our possession was going, but they adapted and we didn't. So need to be wary of that today. Because that's a crunching tackle by Pinot. That could be a red card. It'd be harsh if it was, but I've seen it given as a red. Go on, ref. Give him he's got the red card out, everyone. They're down a man. They're taking out Nico at centre mid. And they're going to try and play a really narrow kind of 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-1-2-1-1. Doesn't roll off the tongue in the same way. Hernandez has picked up a little bit of an injury, which scares me. I could bring in Navio. A lower leg injury. You know what? I was going to maybe move the wing-backs further forward, but they're already playing as wing-backs on attack with this 4-2-3-1, so we won't change that just yet. Got to be respectful of the talent that Liverpool have, and oh my word. Did that shot deflect, or is that just curved like crazy by João Felix? Did anyone else see that? It looked like it deflected. It looked like... I think he's just curved this absolutely crazily. Ravella inside to João Felix. He's just curved it absolutely insanely. Toby gets a really strong hand to it, parries it into the crossbar. It still finds its way into the back of the net, and that's frustrating. But a long throw opportunity again. We've proven our worth from these already, although on this occasion, Liverpool are going to deal with it. Erk, though, big block from him. Gets the ball back. Van Dijk, Amlo in the middle. Can he pick him out? He can, just about. That was some weird animation shenanigans in the middle, but we'll take it. Of course, last time we played Liverpool, it was the FA Cup final, and it was an absolutely crazy game. Could we have another one of those on the cards? That game was 3-3 at half-time. Erk, though, wins a tackle well. Van Dijk finds some space out wide, puts it in, deflected cross, and It's a very awkward collision there between Amlo and the centre-back. What I do know is that the ball is in the back of the net, and it's going to be a goal in our favour, and we've deserved that. We've been very, very good in this game. Not only have we dominated, kind of the possession for the most part and had way better passing connecting in the final third, we've actually created a lot more chances in this first half compared to that Arsenal game. I'm going to tell the players I'm happy. Get them motivated and inspired. Of course, with them being a man down, we should now see out this game. We should be maybe even getting a few more, dare I say. But I don't know, that last game, it's made me nervous for anything. I don't feel like we can afford to get complacent at all here. They've had one moment of quality already. All it takes is one more, and suddenly we're on an even footing in this game. Tato to João Felix, the goal scorer. Back with Tato now at left back. He whips in. Eastam's there. It must be offside? Linesman? I think... zoom out. Is off. The linesman is stood still. Okay, relax. I mean, I assume it's VAR. The VAR is going to... Has VAR ever looked at a goal like that and then given it still? I feel like in Football Manager that is always disallowed. Was he off? He was off. He was a yard offside. Never in doubt. And now Hernandez is... the answer to should I have taken off Hernandez is a yes. Luis Navio, good luck, mate. I know you're left-footed. You're playing right back. He had to do that a couple of times for us last season. And actually, he did quite well when he was playing in this position. So maybe he's dispelling the myth that you need to be able to, play on your stronger-footed side. Anyway, looking at it, Matty has struggled at left-back. So we'll bring in Hayden Roberts, I think, there. Amlo's not had a great game. Neither has Adrian Smith. You know what? I'm going to move Van Dijk up front, and I'm going to bring in Ferguson again. Of course, the Ferguson sub last game didn't exactly go to plan. I mean, Med, you're offside there, mate. You've got that's a pretty poor offside by a professional footballer, dare I say. But no, let's move Van Dijk into his natural position at striker. Give Callum Ferguson some more minutes at centre attacking mid. I mean, they are constantly shifting their formation here, Liverpool. They're desperate for something to happen. There's 2 minutes of added time. And you know what? I'm just really relieved. I'm just really, really relieved. I mean, we were the better team there. They went down a man early on, which always swung things in our favour. But they did peg us back. We responded well. And on a cold, wet day here in Nottingham, we've managed to get all 3 points. And we need that because the next game is going to be tough. I've got a transfer offer here for Jason Catton. How much are they bidding? 1.3 million. I mean, I'm going to say no, but he doesn't look that good, does Catton. I've noticed a few of the youngsters that I'm not really rating highly, and nor are my staff, are getting little bids on them. Of course, we have started to I don't want to say amass a horde of players, but there are quite a few players in the youth team. A lot of them are out on loan. A lot of them, though, have some good potential. Of course, one or two of these may one day break into the first team, but the vast majority of these are here to come in, be assets, and Chelsea-style sell them on for some money down the line. Either way, speaking of Chelsea, we've got one more game left today. It's in 8 days' time. We've got a win on the board. Chelsea won their first game by 6 goals. I'm very nervous. Let's try and avoid a spanking and maybe cause an upset, shall we? Game number 3, away from home against Chelsea. This is the hardest game of the season, as far as I'm concerned. This Chelsea team, I mean, they're blooming good. They've spent £220 million on this guy. We've already talked about this last episode, but just to remind you, they've spent £220 million on him, everyone. They're a very good team. Frank Lampard's their manager. Apparently, their media prediction is 4th, which seems absolutely mental considering all the trophies and stuff they've won over recent years. Either way, we're going to try and give them a good game. The great news for us is, if we just look at our transfer history, Dennis Hoffman, he finally agreed to leave the club. I've had it on a few occasions this year, and maybe you have too in Football Manager, where you agree a sale for a player and you start making moves based on the fact that a guy's going to come in, you're going to make loads of money off him, and then suddenly he just turns down their contract offer. He has gone to Leicester, £25 million made, and I've signed all 4 of those players that we talked about previously. So very exciting stuff there. Bright future ahead of us. Ramirez just looks absolutely insane. At £600,000, could rise to just shy of £2 million. I'm gonna put my head out and my neck out on the line here. I think he is our starting centre-back in 5 years' time. I think he's that good. He looks absolutely phenomenal. And that 5-star potential. Oh, that 5-star potential. Anyway, I have actually got my eye on one further player. as a result of all the deals that we've got and the fact there is a little bit of money left to spend. I'm looking at Milan Bohach. I don't know if that's how you say it. He's from the Czech Republic, everyone. He's 17 years old, 8 caps for the national team, and I think he could be a really, really good wing-back. And wing-backs are hard to find in Football Manager. Wing-backs just don't exist once regens start coming through, but this guy looks absolutely superb. He's only 17, fairly professional personality, maybe lacking a little bit in terms of going forward. Certainly some of his technicals need a fair bit of work, but he's 17. The only real downside is that his release clause is 11.5 million, which I have agreed to pay, and it is not a small amount of money, but it's not like there's a first team position that I need to sign a player for now. You know, I'm pretty happy with the overall strength and the overall quality of our first team. It's mostly a case of, you know, investing in the future. And as I said, wing-backs are hard to come by. He ticks a few boxes. You can also see here, Catton has had another offer from West Brom. Go away, West Brom. Stop bidding on him. Elsewhere, Casanova might be about to go on loan to Porto and be a regular starter for them, which could be a really good opportunity. And Felix Sickinger, who you may remember we signed from Augsburg a few years ago, he is looking like he might go on loan to Boston United. Of course, Boston United relegated last season, our former club. I want to help them out in any way that I can. They've not had a very good start to the season. They've finished 17th, everyone. Their pre-season expectation was only 5th as well, so come on, Boston, get promoted. Do it for me. I believe in you. Either way, we've got to focus on our own game here. We're taking on Chelsea. For this game, I'm very tempted to play the exact same starting 11 that played the previous match, to be honest. Seckinger can come back onto the bench. That does mean that Bedoya, the young Colombian, is going to move down the pecking order. I have been looking to loan this guy out because I feel like he's the kind of player who's ready to be loaned out. You know, he's got great personality, loads of potential, is set to develop a lot. I just can't find him first team football. No one wants to loan him though, which is very awkward. Maybe we can find him a move before the deadline in just over a week. Elsewhere you can see Calafiori, Ricketts, both injured, as is Tudor. I need a nickname for Tudor, so if you've got any suggestions, let me know. Of course, he has just signed for us off the back of that sale that we had. He's a really, really good 19-year-old centre mid. He looks interesting. I think he's a box-to-box midfielder just without that defensive instinct. There is a small part of me that wonders, can I maybe play him as like a shadow striker on the regular? But I feel like I've got a few players there. Either way, he's going to feature in the first team this year. He's got enough quality to get some game time. Keep a close eye on him. And well, looking at this first team, am I happy with it on the whole? Regina apparently is back and ready to go. So you know what, Regina, back you come. Of course, Juan Hernandez got injured in that last game. Apparently he can play if he needs to. But I'd rather play Regina where we can. So let's get into this. Let's see if we can have a better performance than the one against Arsenal. Let's see if we can mimic the kind of performance we had against Liverpool. I would have liked to have scored a few more goals in that previous game, but I'm happy with the 3 points, everyone. And as I said at the top of this episode, whilst it would be lovely to go away from home to Chelsea and get a result here, you can't expect us to. You know, that is the sad reality of it. I'm going to be aggressive. We're going to play on the front foot. We're going to try and play the 4-2-3-1 and see if it works. But ultimately, I see this as the kind of game that we can go into. And whilst it would be lovely to win and, you know, really showcase the fact that we are a title challenger, this year I want to get Champions League football again. I want to reach the Champions League knockouts, see maybe a little bit of domestic cup success like last year. But ultimately, I really want to establish us as a regular top 4 team that have money to spend. We've got £60 million in the bank. So whilst the transfer budget and wage budget were very close to kind of our limits, we've got money in the bank. Regina's given away a penalty inside the first minute. Did this happen last time we played Chelsea in the FA Cup? In the semi-final, we gave away a penalty early on. Penalties given, I mean, it was going to be a tough game for us. So to give away a penalty after 30 seconds, it doesn't make it any easier. Mason Mount steps up, Toby goes the right way, can't get a hand on it. This could be a long day at Stamford Bridge. I mean, it's almost too early to draw any conclusions. We played 30 seconds of open play. But they are a goal ahead now. 1-0 Chelsea. I'm shaking my head. I can't believe it. Regina, you were so good against Arsenal. You were so good. And then you got injured. You missed a game. You come back for this one. Give away a penalty. Let's remain calm, everyone. Their only shot, I was about to say their only shot's been the penalty. They've had one more shot that had an XG of 0.01. But they are in possession here, bringing it forward. And it's Alfredinho Back heels it to Kai Havertz, to Ruiz, to Largo. Hits it. Oh my word, what a save by Toby. Got his hand to it. Tips it over the crossbar for a corner. That shot looked destined for the top corner, but he has denied him. Now Piotr's going to head it away on his big head of his. It's iconic, that forehead. Say all of this. The ball's not gone yet. Erk, nice tackle. That will do us. I mean, look, we're a goal down, but there's still time in this game. PMA, positive mental attitude. They've got a corner. I'm going to shout to man more. It's probably going to be too late. Near post header. It was Smith with it. Of course it was Smith with it. I hate him. He's our nemesis. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the Smith fan club. Or in the fan club either. Right, Piotr, big ball forward. Amlo's been very absent in these games today. Dr. Medj, though, with the ball, dinks it forward. It's a little bit ambitious, but didn't quite work out. But we'll press from the front. Try and force Chelsea to play some nice football. And to be fair, they've played themselves out of the press very nicely there. Ball forward. Oh my word, Matty at left back. I feel like he's not made any glaringly obvious mistakes, the left back, when he's slotted in for us as of late. A little bit nervy there as he played the ball back to the keeper. Ball whipped in. Connor Smith. Bullet header. 2-0 Chelsea. We've been here before, haven't we? We've been here before against this Chelsea team. They're just too good. We've got a great squad. I think it's a squad that should challenge in the Champions League. It's a young squad as well, which is going to develop, I hope, into a title fighter. But in games like this on the regular, whilst we've caused the odd upset, I feel like ever since we've kind of gone onto teams' radars, we've been recognised as one of the better teams in England. You know, we can't pry on the naivety of the opposition anymore. They're not, playing all-out attack and showing us no respect. And when that shift has happened, it has made things tougher for us. Anyway, we've got a chance here maybe as Regina throws his throw in straight at the man at the near post. It's not great, but we can go again here. Lind with it to Dr. Medj. The doctor will see you now. No, he won't. He's misbooked his appointment. He's given it to their left back. Castillo with it. I thought for a second he was going to get caught with possession. Big ball forward to Smith. He's quick. Oh my word. As I say, he's quick. He's a good finisher. He's hit the woodwork there. We've been let off the hook. I mean, the Chelsea team's just blooming good, isn't it? That's all there really is to it. The mad thing is, with the penalty, that is a 0.79 XG. So besides that, from open play, their XG, it's been good, but it hasn't been incredible. It's still been twice as good as ours. I've told the players I'm delighted. That was a misclick. I think I've saved it. Saved? Look, Van Dijk's reacted well. Van Dijk, I mean, that's all you can really ask for. Might have to bring in Steve Secker. Might need to bring down old Steve. I mean, let's not panic just yet. It's only 2-0. It's only 2-0. We'll let the team talk that I ballsed up have some effect before we start rushing and making any changes. He's offside. Surely he's offside. He's not offside. Get it away. Connor Smith has been very generous to us today. He could have had a hat-trick. He could still get a hat-trick. But at 2 goals, we could come back. Arsenal did it to us. There's a chance, everyone. I was about to make a change, but then the highlight started. We've shouted to man more. They've got to throw in. Can the shoutiness immediately have an impact? Van Dijk, Dr. Medj. Smith to Lind. Matty at left back. I should just nickname Matty. Amlo heads it. Good save by the keeper. Really good opportunity for us. Probably the best chance we've had inside the first hour, and it's going the 59th minute. Smith bringing it forward again, though. Is there more to this? Erk? Regina. Options, mate. You've got to make amends here. You ballsed up earlier, and that you're not going up in my estimations today. I was told he could only play 75 minutes. I might take him off after an hour, but there's still a highlight going here. Smith shoots from range. Not troubling the keeper, right? Navio, you know what? Come and play right back. In fact, no. Juanjo Hernandez makes more sense. Pause the game, Jack. Pause the game. Right. You know what? Van Dijk, you've not shone yet for a £55 million signing. Granted, you've played against some of the big boys. Erk, go out on the left. Secker, out on the right. We're changing things up, everyone. It's a whole new season. It's a whole new me. Look for the overlap. Out of possession. Press. Push hard. And in transition... we'll go to the fullbacks as well. I want us to try and keep hold of the ball, but I do want us to just be a little bit quicker in how we play the play. Words of genius from me. And if we get a goal now, there's a chance. Whips in. Piotr heads just over. It's another opportunity. Unfortunately, we couldn't make anything of that one. I can get shouty again. 15 minutes. I mean, look, we've given them a game here. We've not rolled on our backs and died, considering that we conceded after a minute. Smith. I mean, maybe the 4-4-2 is the future. Seka. Hernandez. Options in the middle. You could go to Seka if you want to. Goes to Smith. Options. Whipped in. Erk's there. The keeper has made a few annoyingly good saves today. Oh my word. What was that? What was that highlight, Football Manager? I mean, Toby's held on to it. Let's hope it's the start of a highlight in our favour. Maybe 4-4-2's the future, everyone. It's what I've been playing over on Twitch on my save in Sweden. Oh my god, Van Dijk, great touch. Can he finish it? No, he can't. That was less a great save and more a bad finish, to be honest. Oh, we've had chances in this game. And we've just not taken them. Going to go to attacking, but there's already a highlight beginning, and it is them encroaching on our box. Bruno Tavares hits the outside of the post. Been let off the hook. One last shout of demand more. The demand more button is wearing down. Seka. Silva. Welcome to the team, Paulo Silva. I hope that's not a consolation, right? Throw men forward. Silva, the youngster from Benfica. Near post header. Scores it. Right, now make changes. Right, Marcelo. I want you to come on for Amlo, who's not been good enough here. Attack. Seka. Attack. Smith. Just go and play Shadow Striker, mate. Honestly, at this point, just roll the dice, everyone. I haven't got any more subs. Am I happy with this? There's not much more I can do here, is there? Early crosses, I think. Out in transition, over the top of the defence. Just boot it as far away as you can and distribute it quickly. But I'm just ticking all the boxes. We need a goal. There's 4 minutes. There's not going to be a highlight now. That's how this works. One last shout of demand more. 2 minutes. Someone do something. I mean, we put up a fight. But it's not much of a consolation, is it? It's not. I mean, they were the better team. Let's be honest here. They were the better team. But I don't want to say we didn't disappoint ourselves. I'm disappointed in ourselves. Not as disappointed as I was about the Arsenal game, mind you. But could have been better. Useful Forest come unstuck. Toby got man of the match despite conceding 2. He does that quite a lot against Chelsea, to be fair. I mean, I can't dwell on that game too much. And we have got some semi-easier games coming up. I mean, Wolves are in second. Cardiff and Brighton look winnable. Burnley, Bournemouth, Norwich. They're all games that we need to win and win handsomely. I mean, the one silver lining I've got is our goal difference isn't absolutely awful considering our relatively poor start to the season. Hopefully now we can grind out some good results. And of course, we've got the Champions League upcoming. So we'll have to see when that's going to be drawn and what group we're going to be in and stuff. There's still the earlier qualifying rounds. I imagine next episode, though, will probably be our Champions League debut. At least under my leadership. Forest have been to a Champions League kind of competition or 2 in the past, I believe. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you enjoyed this triple header. A little bit disappointing in terms of results, especially the Arsenal one. It was good to get a win against Liverpool at home. The Chelsea game, I don't want to say we have one man to blame, but there might be one man to blame. We go again, though, tomorrow. Champions League football, it's on the horizon. I hope you're ready. I hope our youngsters are ready. And I'll see you guys then. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.